You are most welcome and thank you for honoring this meeting. My name is Tibeire Mary from the Anti-Corruption Coalition Busoga, working as a facilitator. I still recall that in our last engagement we passed a resolution of no vote buying. Do you still remember this resolution? We used to move around discouraging from selling their votes. If you can still remember, in that very engagement we talked about three things, namely corruption, vote buying and poor service delivery. We are therefore here to get additional information on those very issues to enable us finalize our report or findings. We can still remember those three things talked about. It is quite a long time since our last engagement, but what I can still recall, we used to move around telling people of this village the dangers of selling their vote, that it will affect service delivery. Your participation is completely voluntary. Issues to be discussed in this meeting shall remain confidential and will serve for purposes of this meeting. Therefore, feel free as we discuss. It is also important to know that your being here is very important because you are representing the views of other people of this village, Namusenwa. Your opinions, views are geared towards adding what we had earlier on gathered and will be of beneficial to your village. What is important as of now is to have respect for others' views and also be straight to the point, because we intend not to spend here more than 60 minutes. How do you normally conduct meetings? We agree on an agenda like prayers, anthem, communication from the chair, matters arising. Thank you very much for the agenda. Can we have some ground rules for the meeting? Ground rules set: phones should be put in silent, respect others' views, respect for one another. I would like to show you this tape record which we shall be using to record information during this discussion. The purpose is to enable us capture all your views that could have been left out by the note taker. Secondly, like mentioned earlier, your participation, although important, but is completely voluntary. Don't expect anything from our side, a bottle of soda or money. When the facilitator says that we should not expect anything, she demoralizes our participation. This should be the last thing to talk about. The facilitator must be aware that it is the order of the day for participants to be facilitated whenever called upon in such gatherings. Members, I want to emphasize that the Anti-Corruption Coalition Busoga is not political, like I mentioned earlier on. We are here to get more information. The third issues, still concerns that we talked about in our previous engagement, is corruption, vote buying, and poor service delivery. I am the chairperson of this village. I have been invited by your team to be part of this meeting, but unfortunately may not go up to the end because of some other commitments. I have no doubt in what is going on and do trust the team which is here. And importantly, when Sabataka is with us, I want to wish you good deliberations. My representative will give me a feedback. Okay, let's divide ourselves into groups of 5 people and play a simple game. This shouldn't take us more than 5 minutes. And look at this piece of paper. It has 3 pictures. The first one talks about corruption. The second one is about buying, stroke selling votes. And the last one is about poor service delivery. Can we please look at these pictures and make some interpretations on how they relate to one another? The group will later present and share their findings with the rest of us. We have discovered that vote buying or vote selling is the beginning of corruption. Most dangerous. When someone buys votes, he or she invests a lot of money. So that person has then to make sure that this man is proud back by hook or crook. This eventually bleeds into poor service delivery. In our group, we thought that poor service delivery is the major cause of corruption. When people are campaigning, they keep on promising people and at the end of the day fail to fulfill these promises and as a result disappear from the constituencies. It is true corruption is bad, but poor service delivery is equally bad. We need to talk about corruption without fear or favor because it has caused havoc in every sector. If we shy away from condemning it, then we shall never have it wiped. Let's talk about the 3 most demanding problems or concerns in this village that you would wish your members of parliament to take action on. One is health. Drugs are not readily available in the health centers. Sometimes we are shocked to learn that some drugs are banned due to their expiry. The medical staff at the health center is not friendly at all. 2 is education. The schools keep on demanding for money under UPE wherever the president is emphasizing education for all. Another one is land, roads and electricity. We have many issues to talk about. Why do you limit us to only 3? There are issues to do with land at Namirali and government wants to grab our wetlands. We have no electricity and roads are in sorry state and we can't find the MPs anywhere in the constituency. We have therefore lost hope. The corruption we are talking about is very rampant at the top and we have been made understanding that president is giving out money to the MPs. What should the MPs do to solve this issue? Should they use their own resources or lob government? We think the MPs can use their own money to address these issues, but we are told that central government always give them money for the purpose. Did these leaders make any promise during the past election? Yes, they promised to provide electricity, improve the road network, and many other things, including support our women and youth groups. What other problems you would like the local leaders like Chairman, LOC5, LOC3 and their councillors to tackle? Although we are not very certain on who does what, for example, when a borehole was constructed, all leaders claimed to have had a hand in the project. Likewise, Museveni is talking of creating a middle class status, but you wonder who will spearhead this. Nevertheless, we can say these leaders should tackle the issue of electricity. How many village meetings have you ever held since the last election? Nothing. We are tired. There has been no elections for LOC1. Have overstayed in power since 2001 and have become dictators. They can no longer perform and the people have lost confidence in them. What other methods have you tried to use in order to have some of those issues solved? Nothing. The village has very many problems including poor leadership. How do we reactivate these meetings? No way. It appears we have no LOC1 council in place and therefore nothing can be done. We request Accob to come at our rescue to have village meetings reactivated. Do you still agree that MPs are still the right people to handle your demands? Of course, yes. In their campaigns, MPs have always expressed willingness to handle every aspect of our demands. What about the local leaders, councillors inclusive? Are they the right people to handle your concerns? These are wrong people. If the system was good, the LOC1 would be at the forefront to know issues affecting the village. Lack of civic education to have clear understanding of the roles and responsibilities of each local leader puts us in a dilemma. For how long have these leaders not appeared this way? We haven't seen them since elections. It appears they are busy plowing back money invested in the elections. We have no solution to this. Even if you extend an invitation, they don't come, but quite often send representatives, and mobilizing for a vote of no confidence is not easy. Do you think there is a way you can influence these leaders to do what is required of them? No way. Where shall we find them? Do you still regard village meetings to be vital if we have to address our concerns? Yes, meetings are very necessary, but will you find these leaders? Next time we need to be very careful when electing different offices. How do you look at vote selling? Is it good to sell your vote in return to paying your children's fees and assisting you during burial expenses? If it is not good, it is not good. But it normally happens, and people have always thought that this was the only way to go if they have to benefit from these leaders. Do you realize that when people continue asking the politicians for money and other support are labeled as beggars? Have you ever heard them calling people from this village beggars? Yes. Now, how do you feel when these people call you beggars? We feel bad because we waste a lot of our time to campaign and vote these people. What collective actions can the village do to influence leaders about things we have talked about? We shall limit the term of office, put in place an agreeable memorandum of understanding. When it breached, then we have to think otherwise. Encouraging the leaders to be in their constituencies, because this is the only way to access information from us. We have come to the end of this discussion. I want to thank you for your participation. Can we request Muwalim to give us a closing prayer?